Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned About a Plays. Ace Attorney Trilogy episode 102. We're back in it. We've already... Do I need to turn this down? No, I don't. I've already talked to you about a bunch of stuff. I guess we gotta talk to more people about other stuff. And then after that, we're probably gonna talk to some other people about some stuff. And then when we finish talking to stuff about people, talks to some people about stuff, when we get all that stuff talked about. And then there will be no more talking of people and stuff. Hey, how's it going? So, we have Cyclops for two different people. They're both, like, extremely big. But I don't think we can actually do anything with anybody. Like, do you have more? Let's try presenting some stuff to you. I don't know what you would be doing. What do you think about this? Sorry, your defense. It wouldn't be right for us to discuss things so intimately. Yeah, okay. Gross. Trumpy like that, huh? Tell me about Iris. Apparently, Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it. Edgeworth went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look up some stuff on her. Should ask him what he's found. Yeah, we already did that. Okay, so you're done. I don't know where else we can go where there's, like, people to talk to. Everybody has given us all their information. We go back to Heavenly Hall. Oh, hello. Here we go. I was expecting Larry and Pearls to be here. I guess they must have gone to collect firewood. I suppose I'll have to check back later. Really? So I can't even try and get anything from them then, huh? Yeah, okay. Bikini... Dude, you gotta tell me way more stuff about stuff. Would you mind taking a look at this? Ah! Our scroll! Our precious scroll! What on earth have you done to it? No, it wasn't me, I swear. But who did this, and why would anyone want to cover this thing in gravy? More importantly, does this have anything to do with the case? Ugh, that didn't do anything? Come on. What else? What else? Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. I mean, Iris could never do such a wicked thing. But they proved it in court today, didn't they? That this sword wasn't the murder weapon. That's what they were saying, yes. The problem is I saw it too. I'm sure that what I saw was this blade stabbed into Miss Donham's body. Okay, very unhelpful. Where could she have fallen from? Tell me about it. No. No, alright. Tell me about Iris's testimony. Nope, okay. Tell me about Larry's sketch. Oh yeah, we already did that. How about this crystal sphere? This crystal sphere? It's not from a demon warding hood, but I would guess it serves a similar purpose. It's not from the hood, it's from the staff. Look at the blood on it. Oh, man. Ah, what are you doing with that? Give it back at once. I can't. This is evidence. This really must be one very important item. Okay, you gotta tell me about people, then. Oh, we have Morgan Fay up for grabs here now? Oh, and we have Morgan Fay's daughter and Iris's twin sister. Okay, so we have Dahlia Hawthorne here. Iris had a twin sister. That's really all I know about her. That and the fact that she was taken away from her mother by her jeweler father. I don't have any idea where she is or what she's doing now. I could tell her, but she'd probably have a coronary and a half. When I think about it, I do kind of feel sorry for Mystic Morgan. It wasn't her fault that her sister was a more powerful spirit medium. Mystic Morgan just couldn't compete with her sister. It must have been really tough on her. Even so, that doesn't excuse all the things she did. No, of course not. What a disgraceful young man! You finally seen through him, huh? How could he sit there and claim he really saw what he drew in that picture? Although the portrait he did of me was rather flattering, I must say. Still, it's not like Larry to make something up that might get a woman he likes in trouble. There's more to that sketch of his than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. That didn't do anything. I mean, it's gotta be, we gotta have to present some of these new profiles to other people. That's gotta be what you do. Let's go to the courtyard. Aha! New place. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? That must be Pearls. Or not. No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the channeling room in Karain. Whoop! I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. Oh, was that the tune it was supposed to be? I don't know what reggae sounds like, so... yeah, okay. Hey, pal. Huh? Who, me? How long have you been there? I just got here. Oh, okay. So what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? That barbed sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? So how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean... I don't have the details, pal. All I know is, if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me. I don't know. They're not my words, pal. Then who said it? Mr. Godot. Godot? What did he mean by that? About that letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. And all I find is some burnt-up old letter. Burnt-up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the Inner Temple. The incinerator? I knew it! I knew I wasn't imagining it! There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? Dude, you are the worst detective. It's gotta be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. I'd better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. So what do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the Shichishito that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah, and man, is it tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? Is it a metal detector? What's this secret weapon of yours? You want to know? You've got to think scientifically, okay? All right. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? I am the world's best genius. Any questions so far? No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! A metal detector! Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Yeah, let's play forensics expert. Why not? Come on, pal. It's good fun. I'm telling you. Alright then. I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive you can make it cry. It's so high-tech you could skydive off it. Oh, bother. So, now I'm gonna tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector's signal bouncing off of something metallic. Next, move the detector around and give this courtyard a good looky-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hit on something metallic. And when that happens, press the X button to give the area a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight, too. Take a good look at, oh, I pressed X by accident. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? Looks like a normal ladder to me, pal. Surely everyone knows the difference. I mean, they're pretty ordinary objects. I've met plenty of guys like you, always picking on the smallest details. The vegetable store guy near my place does it all the time. He even corrects me when I ask for a head of lettuce. That's a cabbage, he says. I'm telling you, they're the exact same thing. No, they're not. They're completely different. You have to plant both of them firmly in the ground before they can grow, don't you? Listen, you gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture sometimes. Otherwise, you can miss a really important clue. That's advice from a pro, pal. The last person I need advice from is this guy in front of me. That Shishito next to the golden statue wasn't the real murder weapon, pal. Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd check it again anyway. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Do you know about that sword? It's supposed to represent the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one. Yes, I heard something about that. You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life I'd be leading had I not joined the homicide division. You think about that kind of stuff, detective? Of course I do. Think about it a lot. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as the Blue Badger. There's something to be said about the humor value of Gumshoe as the Blue Badger. Damn, he said that exact oh, look at that! This looks like a wallet? Aha! That's where it's been! Is it yours, detective? I'm always dropping it, so I put a bell on it. But you still dropped it anyway. Yeah, but now I found it again, pal. Your wallet is completely empty. Well, I drop it all the time, so I don't put money in it anymore. Then how come the metal detector picked it up? Must be because of the bell, I guess. What's this? A pen? Hey, I've been looking all over for that, pal. Huh? It's yours? Yeah, my old man gave it to me when I qualified as a detective. He told me it'd be good for sticking in suspects' faces. That makes you detectives sound really nasty. It's my dream to stick it in your face one day, right? Then don't go losing it. Looks like there's something round buried in the ground here. Don't touch that, pal. Huh? What is it? It's a trap. People set them out to catch us detectives. They're real nasty. A trap for detectives? You mean like those fierce traps with sharp teeth that are supposed to snag your leg? Yeah, those. I got my finger caught in one of those once. Your finger? There was this bit of cheese, and it looked so tasty. I reached out, and then BAM! I'm not sure I know how to respond to a story as stupidly pitiful as that. Damn, they are straight up killing it with these Gumshoe anecdotes right now. That's odd. This sled's made of plastic. It says Bikini number 1 on the side. Maybe there's something under it. Hey, what's this? A badge? Aha! I've been hunting high and low for that. It's yours to Dude, he's lost everything. That thing's priceless to a guy like me, pal. A cop can't be a cop without his badge. I'm sure glad I put that dime in there now. How did you manage to drop your badge here of all places? I know. I bet it happened this morning. I was playing around with the sled and... Stop right there. I don't need to hear anymore. It's just a pair of skis. Nothing useful for our case here. I'm actually pretty good on skis, you know, pal. I just love to fly down the slopes with my coat fluttering in the wind. Really? I had no idea. How good are you then? Well, I'm better on skis than I am on skates, but not as good as when I'm on a snowboard. That's a pretty detailed answer. Oh, but you know what I'm best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy. The guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. We better get that invested. Okay. Same skis. I don't know if maybe there's some of them have like blood on the tip or something. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Hey, pal, all you gotta do is watch the detector and let it tell you what's where, okay? Alright already. I'm not exactly a whiz at machinery, you know. This is Miss Stonham's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood. But the detector is reacting to it. Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metallic. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it? It's weird that this thing is causing a racket. Here, let me take a look at it. Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... Ah! The top is coming off! Look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence. Ah! That's a sword inside the staff. Is this... could it be... the murder weapon? I'd never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff. They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. If the real scene of the crime was the inner temple garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe, who knows about the hidden sword? No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. Then I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh? No! I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal. It's about the same length as the Shichishito, too. This must be the murder weapon. Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight. Wait up, detective! Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know? You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while? Huh? What are you talking about, pal? Please! Just until we find Maya. Maya? What's this got to do with her? I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh? How so? Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and... well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think... Maya's been murdered? Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern. You're looking kind of viridian there. Okay. Just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. This staff's secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we knew about it and didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. This is just a regular run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry. She'll be fine. Gumshoe. You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal? Sure. Thanks. No one knows this except me and Gumshoe. And the murderer! I can't help but wonder, though. What was Elisa Donham doing with a staff like this in the first place? Oh yeah, I gotta check this burnt letter. Be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is Meh. She is our the whole Meh. Here is a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Where's the picture of her? Once this is Meh, burn the Meh. Also make Meh tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the Meh fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. So where's the picture then? Okay, so somebody's channeling a spirit. As soon as you hear the lights out bell. This is not meant for Iris, I don't believe. Because Iris is the one who sounds the lights out bell. So this, I think this is addressed to Pearl. Leave everything up to her. Her name is, she is our, what does AL, what could that be? She is our almighty penis. The whole tamale. Here is a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is something, burn the witch at the stake. Also, make cake batter ice cream and put it in the freezer. Don't tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades. So that means kill Misty Faye. She's the master. This is a letter to kill the master. I assume that third line just says, also make sure you don't tell anyone about this letter. Like, it can be, it's probably that simple. Once this is complete, burn the evidence in the incinerator. Alright. Interesting. Yeah, I don't want to examine all this stuff again, but thanks. So now that we have that, that's at least one more piece of evidence too, in fact, actually. Hey, what if I present you with the cane sword that I'm not supposed to do? Okay, so you don't know nothing about that, then. Have you seen this letter? No, you haven't. Hold on. Am I supposed to present the letter to Gumshoe to show him that it is in fact important? No? Okay. Let's go. No, don't go back there. Ugh. Main gate. Suspension bridge. Perhaps Pearl is now here? No. Must not be enough evidence then. Inner temple gate. Let's try the garden. I'm gonna show Edgeworth this letter. No? Okay. I'm gonna show you the cane sword. I'm just gonna completely break protocol here. No? Alrighty then. Oh, but I am supposed to see what you know about some of these other people. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right, I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. It was my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood-related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh, and this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Mia Fey! Mia Fey! At the time, Dahlia... It's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there is no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. It seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Karain channeling technique. Did you say Karain channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. Of course, how could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Karain channeling technique is real. Ooh, so did they bring back Dahlia Hawthorne then? Did Pearl channel Dahlia Hawthorne and then kill her? And then kill, what's her name? Misty Faye? And that's what Sister Bikini saw as her being channeled? Twin this, twin that, bullshit this, bullshit that. There's Dahlia Hawthorne. She was executed last month, huh? How about that? I'm gonna have to ask you some questions about your sister. If you don't mind. Nope, that's going to be part of... her other thing. The night of the crime. I mean, with that, I don't know that there's anything else we need to do, really. You don't know about Morgan Fay, okay. I tried presenting you with the letter and stuff already. With all that, let me just comb over this place one more time. Perhaps they are at Heavenly Hall now. They are not. Perhaps they are at the main gate. They are not. Perhaps they're in the main hall? They are not. I am going to present to you Dahlia Hawthorne, deceased. Iris had a twin sister, that's all I know about her. Okay. Yeah, we already did the whole Morgan Fay stuff. Did I try giving you this letter? Nope. Okay, so you're done then. Gumshoe is here. What did I tell you about Dahlia Hawthorne? No? Alright. Morgan Fay? Oh, hello. I've seen this woman before. Isn't she that jaw-droppingly large strawberry dessert woman? Oh yeah, she's Pearl Fay's mother, right? That's right. She was involved in that incident in Corain Village last year, wasn't she? Hey, she was the one who did it. Why doesn't he think this whole thought through before opening his mouth? Yeah, that was one ugly case, huh, pal? Was. I don't know. The more we look at this case, the more I feel like that one never ended. She's locked up safe in solitary confinement at the detention center, though. At least we can rule her out of this case. Can we, though? Can we, though? I guess we have to try and break her psych locks now. Dude, I'm so sick of accidentally going to the courtyard. We must have everything that we need, because there are no other places to go. So let's give it a shot. Present the Magatama! Oh, you only had 3 locks? Oh, it's Pearl that had the 5. Okay. Yeah, this should be alright. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth? Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini? Her testimony in court today was very clear. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, You were there at the Inner Temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The Acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early, so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the Inner Temple, so I would have left at about 9:40 p.m., I think.
I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40, but what you say doesn't add up with your own testimony where you said you rang the bell at 10. You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright.
We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right. I remember.
And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the Inner Temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. It's impossible.
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there is more than one of me.
Dahlia. I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer...
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? This second you who was here at the temple on the night of the murder? It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Kurain channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. She knew about it. Why would you know about it? Are you in on this?
I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the Inner Temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the Inner Temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about?
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. she started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father? That's awful!
But I promised. I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on her father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The Main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired, because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the Master of Karain.
That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Karain tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive, and that he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see.
Oh.
And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her, and being rejected by her own family. I've heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fey clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There is still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearls' psych lock. Okay, but that didn't give us any new, like, information to work with. Well, it gave us,
You didn't... Why are we not asking her about, like, the whole rest of this plan? Like, she knew what was happening. Like, as soon as she heard that she had been spotted at whatever temple, she was like, oh, I know what's happening. They channeled Dahlia Hawthorne. So, and she's specifically, like, not letting that plan go to, or fail. Look at that! They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick.
Ha! You're too late, Nick! If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off! I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. Okay, I could end it right here, but nah, let's really pack the revelations into the end of this episode, I think, would make it very much good. Damn, that ghost picture in the background again. That's gonna give me nightmares. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elisa Donan's room reading a book together, correct?
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried, I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Donham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? I mean, she was trapped on this part of the island, so yeah, she had to go to the Inner Temple. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is this. Well, Pearls, this is what you were worrying about, right?
There's something I'm worrying about right now, actually.
What's that?
You, Mr. Nick. Your face has turned a really strange color.
Huh?
You shouldn't work so hard, you know. You need to take a break once in a while.
Being chided by a 9-year-old, how embarrassing. So you didn't get the letter then? Really only one. So, well, it must have been her. So Maya then? Pearls never went to Miss Donner. She's too worried about his Pearls. She went to the Inner Temple because she was worried about Maya. Had to be. Had to be. It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Well, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the Inner Temple.
Then we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. But there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell? The Hazakura Temple bell is pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh?
'Cause she did get the letter.
Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. Yeah, so now we're doing it. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Where did you...
In the incinerator at the Inner Temple. Pearls, You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note, and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was... It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris who Sister Bikini met at the Inner Temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? Badump. But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you. That's why.
How did you...
I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. All right, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it.
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you've been given. But you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. Channel Spirit, leave everything up to her. Yes, ma'am. Adventurer, you doing a channel, I know you can do it. Once this, burn it. Make sure you don't tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades. I think that's... okay, so the you burned her picture. Oh no! Gravy! Ah! I get it! Ah. It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
What? Why would I do something like...
Do you remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast, among others, right?
How do you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Donham on the night of the murder?
Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Ha! Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? Miss Elise? So for example, how do you read this? It says gravely.
Dude, what an absolute coincidence.
That's kind of a tough word.
Sure, Miss Donham taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant.
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food, and that's
why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple, with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Karain, like it said in the letter.
I see. And then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yes. I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then,
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. It happens.
Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yes. When I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried?
It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too.
Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh, just like that.
So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? Because someone else was already channeling it?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yup, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken.
Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month, and last month she told me...
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden.
My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her letter too.
A picture?
Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already? I'm starting to think Elisa Donham knew about all this already. And I think she's the one who channeled Dahlia Hawthorne, who then, like, what, just killed herself? Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Ha! Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Godot! The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a frickin' puzzle workshop. I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realized that, but... And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on. Ha! What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court tomorrow, once and for all.
Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
Damn, that was a long-ass episode. Okay, we'll save that for a little later. That's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.